And hello, welcome to Roll for Story, the Claude Coast arc, and episode 60. This arc has gone on for far too long. It's time to wrap this up in a climactic.
All it means is we're really enjoying the world that's been built. It's a compliment.
We want to explore it and see more, and you offer, and a few times you've offered us side quests, and it's just like, well, we're going to take those.
You know by now that we can't resist a side quest, and then we make up our own, like
taming the cats
and training a bunch of children to be master thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done a lot of shenanigans here.
And then we roleplay for 4 episodes.
And shopping.
Isn't that the point of a role-playing game?
And don't forget shopping.
That's why I'll never take that away or railroad you suddenly and be like, right, no, that's enough role-playing in this role-playing game.
Except at the end of last session where you're like, oh no, we've got 20 minutes, I'm going to speed you here.
Well, you were just shopping for too long.
Well, we were trying to shop till we dropped.
No, that's this session. All right, so...
No, this is ship till we drop.
Interesting point, guys. We're not live.
We should be.
I mean...
The button says it's streaming. It says live.
Are we? Twitch is being stupid. No, we're live.
We are live. All right. There we go. Cool. All right. So currently you find yourselves in Kabira, the palace of Gaidia, and inside the actual vizier's chambers themselves. And he has he's gathered you all in. Your weapons have been detained for now, and even your magical ones as well. But that doesn't stop you guys from trying to pull off some daring stunt by the looks. He was offering you guys an audience with the Sultan, at least specifically Irina. That way, you could ask any specific questions you wanted about Andy's potential fate. Because it seems as though the Vizier isn't fully aware of maybe other things that have gone on. You guys have spoke to, however, Euterpe, who definitely has other opinions about what's about to go down here. In fact, there we go. Okay, cool. So, yeah, you guys have basically prepared yourselves, ready for this little stunt. And just as he was staring into the fire a few times as well, and he kind of paused at your every question and looked into the fires and then turned back, and you were trying to get a better view of said fireplace, and you actually convinced him to turn it down. But it's at that point, Irene, you waltzed straight up to him, and in answer to his question as to whether you wanted to see the Vizier or not, the Sultan or not, you just apologized and then immediately went in for a passionate kiss planted right in his lips, which caught him totally off guard. And so at this point, Kashan, you've also walked up to the guards, chalked up your hands, and you're about ready to throw down. So I think at this point we will just roll initiative and just let the chaos fly and see what happens at this point.
Chaos.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think you said, Chris, I would have had time to resummon Taklo and give that to Andy. Just in case things go wrong, she'll have a friend for a bit.
Alright, we'll put Taklo on the turn order as well.
Yeah.
I did want to confirm, of course, there was no mention of if Andy has her violin or her cape on her at this point. Technically,
you definitely have your cape. They said that you could keep armors, and the cape is almost kind of considered that. But as for your violin, you've probably got the violin as well. They wouldn't see that as a weapon, so to speak.
Look at that initiative count.
I mean, technically, if she has to prove she's the muse, she kind of needs it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think they would have taken. They would have taken your daggers and crossbow. But
Okay,
Phew.
but I've still got my violin. Okay,
yeah, for sure.
fantastic.
All right, let me chuck that on. How did this guy get? There we go. Let's roll Utopion and the Vizier. Okay.
Oh man, the Guardian Guards don't have names. We have to quickly name them.
Their name is Guy and Yan.
Full regret.
Okay, so you are immediately you're the ones engaging this combat, but they're not completely they're not surprised or anything like this. Whoever's going first goes first, and everyone's watching each other at this point. But Karis, you are up first before anyone's drawn a weapon, so to speak. And we get some
then
combat music.
technically, technically we haven't started fighting them yet, right?
That's right. We're on initiative order, but it's not technically fighting initiative order, right? No one's drawn a weapon yet. No one's attacked anyone. We're in initiative order so that we can just go through this cleanly without everyone going, I want to do that, I want to do that. We'll get through one by one. Just
that works out really because Irina and Llewellyn are next to each other. So Irina's going to give the signal and then Llewellyn does the thing.
Yeah.
It worked out.
Carius will attempt to use his natural tiefling charm to charm this guard. Yes,
on the guard.
He's going to try to.
That's not the worst thing that's happening in this room at the moment. You've got Kashan chalking up his hand.
He's gonna.
He wants revenge.
He's gonna walk over, offer the guy a drink from his flask, and as he does so, because obviously it's a hot day, you know, water's important, perhaps not as important, and then he's gonna try to charm person.
okay. That is interesting. Just a quick question. What are you using as a spell focus?
This is a natural tiefling ability. It's part of just Carius being a tiefling.
Is fair enough. Okay, cool. In that case, it's a wisdom saving throw?
Yep.
Okay. Do that.
DC 17.
Oh man. What the bloody
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not great on wisdom.
Ah, you are charmed.
But I did roll a 15, that's not enough.
Nope.
Okay. Quick question. It's only if they're in combat
Yep.
that they have advantage. Which we're not really
That's
in combat.
That's why I clarified before I made my move.
Until like Ishan like clocks someone over the face really when it actually hits combat. So that guard turns to you and he looks down at the flask of water that you've offered him and says, "Oh, thought I'd perish from thirst. Thank you. That is very kind of you." And he just begins guzzling down this drink.
Yep. What does he look like underneath the mask? I'm curious.
Underneath the mask?
He wants to know what he's flirting with.
He's just making friends.
He's got a pretty prominent chin line. He's a muscular humanoid male. He's got clearly from Guardian descent. But it looks like he's trained well.
Are there any traces of like I'm just asking this out of sheer randomness, out of any like Genasi heritage possibly, or does he appear like fully human?
No, he's definitely a human, Guardian human.
Okay.
But he's not like got any strange tattoos or like fiery skin. No, he's definitely human.
Okay.
But yeah, he just pulls away. It's kind of like a veil and begins guzzling that down. Okay. Anything else? I think that's your turn.
Yep, that's my turn.
Okay, all right. We're gonna go to Kashan.
Okay, so I'm going to use my Tabaxi-like charm to charm this guard into my fist.
No, 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 no.
Well, to
So-
be fair, he's at least up there distracted, because...
Yeah, but if we hit combat, my spell is more likely to fail.
I mean, it might balance out, because he's very heavily distracted. Damn it, Sean.
Okay. This guy's been watching you like a hawk, and I forget to do this. Hold on. But, that's better. Okay. Yeah, that actually hits the second one though. And so he's been watching you like a hawk, and as soon as you swing your first attack, he dodges out of the way of it, and in one motion also like begins to draw out his own sword. And the second one, just as he gets the weapon out, and he's already holding like a small buckler in one hand. The second hit connects across his cheek. That's 6 points
And-
damage.
Con save at disadvantage.
Okay. 50. Okay. On save this. Ooh. Yep.
That's a fail.
Just by him being quick to draw his sword, you immediately stun him in his tracks.
And
And he just, before he can even let out like a, we're under attack, he's just sort of like a.
oh, in that case, I'll just kind of like prop him up to my side and just go like, there. Just look over to Llewellyn.
Well, okay.
While I have him here, I'm just going to give bonus action jab to the rib.
Just
At
like
his back, he's actually literally smacking it.
Stealthily attacking him.
Okay.
What are you trying to do?
just like an elbow to the ribs. Ah, that's a really funny joke.
I mean, I feel like he's pretty obviously he's just pummeling the guy in the corner. Let me just do that. There we go. All right, so yeah, he definitely takes another huge clock to the stomach. Okay. Funnily enough, the Vizier is actually up first. Before you guys. It's interesting. I didn't expect this at all. Okay.
Is this
So he
precursor?
definitely hears this commotion in the corner, and he's also not stupid in the fact that something's going on with Carius and this guy as well. Because I believe it still takes a spell casting of Charm Person, regardless. So it's not just like, here, have a drink. It's the gestures and spell casting of said spell. But he pulls himself away from you, Irina. He's like, what? What is the meaning of this? Okay.
I'm just making
so he's
friends
got a
with my
couple
buddy
of-
here.
He's got a couple of protective abilities, one of which he's immediately going to do. He pulls away from you, Irina. Steps over towards this fireplace, like kicking out away the tables and chairs as he goes. Yep, and he begins casting his own spell, which is quite elaborate as well. You see him like grab like an orb of fire that swirls, begins to expand, and becomes sort of thinner the further it gets out.
And
Anyone doing anything?
counter spell.
Okay.
Carriage just swishes his tail and blows out the fire.
So
Or he's going to try to.
He's gonna try to. Okay.
I don't know if this guy will.
It's upcast, so you're definitely not gonna get away with just flat out countering it.
Okay, so charisma check then, isn't it? Unless he's going to do something.
Spells casting and fails.
Yeah,
make an ability
DC
check.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are gonna have to make an ability check. But I'm thinking about just countering it myself. I don't know what, I'm just gonna counter it myself as well. He sees you trying to wave your hand the other way, and yeah. Oh, really? Okay. Well,
I have counter spell.
Wait,
So does that
You
mean that
have
my
counterspell.
counter spell goes off?
wait,
well, it means
who's counterspelling?
So I'm counter spelling him. He's counter spelling me.
You've always
He's
told...
already casting.
Yeah, it's casting, so you can't counterspell. You can't cast 2 spells at the
You
same time.
you can't cast an action and a bonus action spell. You can cast an action and a reaction spell on the same turn.
I thought I've been turned down so many times.
I should also add something else, and that is that he is going to spend some sorcery points for this. And he's going to make counterspell subtle.
So he's made it so we can't actually counterspell it.
Effectively, what you see, Kashan, everyone. Karis goes to cast his spell, counterspell, which is like a physical, like visible somatic component. And as he shoots an eye towards you, Arius, you don't feel like your spell even connected or even washed away the fire. He's just maintaining his spell casting as he does this.
Yep.
But you can, and if you want, still try to counter his original spell rather than his counter spell.
Yeah, I mean, by all means, she will. Yeah.
Okay, there is a check. It's charisma check.
Karis is just looking at his.
Just a straight check. That is enough. Yeah, that'll do it. And...
Yep, unless it's a 12th level spell.
I like to imagine it's just like a screech of the bow across the violin.
Also, oh wait a second, Karis, what are you casting counterspell with? Your components have also been taken, haven't they? You don't have a innate counterspell, that's for sure.
No, but counterspell doesn't require a verbal or material component. It's purely somatic.
Very true. That is very true. Okay, Andy, you stand somehow. What does your counterspell look like? Because I didn't even realize Andy had counterspell up to this point.
Because technically is musical.
I didn't know you had it up till now.
Oh yeah, she's always had it.
I don't even see it on your sheet.
Oh no, sorry, wait, no, it's counter charm.
Ignore me then. I was gonna say you're a law bard because that's the only way bards get counter spell. Okay, well, counter charm is definitely something you can attempt, but on this occasion, as you let loose this music, doesn't do much to deter the magic that he's summoning out of the weed.
Just completely ignore it because I thought it was something else.
That's okay. That's an easy mistake to make, considering they both got counter in the name. Sadly, though, yes, counter spell slightly different on this occasion, and that means this spell finally going through. I'm glad we got.
I'll counter spell.
Oh, really?
I mean,
are you joking or are you being serious?
Whatever. Let's make this a counter madness.
You actually countering it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You're needing to make the intelligence check.
Fine.
And I shall counterspell Llewellyn.
A 10 is not enough.
There you go.
That is tragic.
At least we all tried.
Yeah.
You did. All right. The spell finally goes through, pushing past all of this nonsense. He just finally slams down this fiery sphere that expands around him, and it's not completely opaque. You can actually see through this kind of translucent, flickering flame. It's definitely formed a barrier of some description. Right there.
Ooh, that's a tricky
You
one.
you don't know what that is? There we
I
go.
suspected it was that out of character. I expected it was one of 2 spells. Actually, one
Yeah.
of 3, but
Okay. That is his action. That is his movement. It is now Andy's. It's now Andy's turn.
My plan was she's going to cast Greater Invisibility on herself.
Oh,
She's going to go.
okay. You can totally do that.
Yep. She's not using the cloak just yet. She's just going to cast Greater Invisibility.
Just to stop yourself from being the target of any capturing spells, so to speak. Good idea. Okay.
Also that, and she's a sneaky. I have plans.
Andy poofs out of the room, just suddenly gone. And although the vizier has his eyes kind of trained in that area, they focus back on probably Llewellyn and Carius. Okay. He turns also to you as well, Irina, like with a kind of look of shock and almost like betrayal. Okay, it is Tacklo's go after that. Did you want to move as well, Andy? By the way, just because you can get anywhere around the room now, whilst completely stealthed.
He's gonna. Never noticed there was a bed in there.
Yeah, there is.
She kind of sees the bed, gives Irina a weird look, like, really?
Like, I didn't intend on taking it that far, if that's what you're thinking.
His meeting room doubles up as a boudoir.
It's gonna kind of like go into the corner right now. Just gonna hover there.
Okay. All right then. Tacklo's up.
the Tacklo can't actually do any attacks or anything unless it's through Karis holding an action, so that doesn't help. But he can do the help action, right?
Yeah.
Trying to remember how the help action works when you're not a mastermind rogue, because I know there's distances and things.
If you're helping to attack someone, Tackler needs to be next to the person attacking. Otherwise, you just need to be next to them.
Okay.
If you're not attacking someone, you can just be anywhere, really. Probably by the person who you're helping, though.
So, considering he's got this weird thing, Tacklo's going to go investigate the weird thing and see if he can go through it. So he doesn't know. He's just going to boop his head against it and see what happens.
Tacklo can actually fly straight through. Oh, wait. It's magical. Tacklo is a first level spell, technically, right?
Yeah. Technically, I suppose.
Yeah, if Tacklo was a real boy, then
yeah,
he would definitely be going straight through. However, it seems as though as Tacklo enters in, he is unsummoned.
Karis is just like, huh. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So you realize at this point there's some sort of magical interference. It could be anti-magic, could be something else.
Yep.
But you don't feel like Tacklo died,
no.
or you don't feel like Tacklo was like suppressed. You just feel like he got effectively popped back into his pocket dimension.
Yep.
Yeah. So you could resummon him. He doesn't actually need to be. You don't need to do the full ritual again. Okay. That's it then. Irina, it's your go.
Okay. Quick question.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, as part of Hexblade, I can summon my weapon using an action.
You can. Yes.
Cool. That is what I'm doing with my turn.
Yeah. They don't account for Hexblades and Eldritch Knights here. That's something that's a little bit niche, and so suddenly the trough outside the chamber suddenly like shudders and shakes, and yeah, your scabbard poofs into smoke and woof, reappears by your side.
I'm not drawing the sword.
No, okay.
Not yet. But I now have it.
You gonna kiss him again?
No, not with the weird purple bubble.
It's a fiery bubble, but yeah.
It's one or two things that I think it is, and I have both those spells, I think.
Okay, but if it's a fiery sphere, then give me a moment and I can probably get through that.
You don't really feel any heat coming from it, though, which is odd. So that's your action. Did you want to move, or are you just content there?
I will stay where I am.
Okay, cool. All right, Llewellyn.
Can I discern
Oh, we lost someone on.
if this is...
We lost Cam.
Oh.
I will say
If
you
this
can
is...
use your reaction to make an Arcana check.
Yeah, because I either think it's Globe of Invulnerability or Anti-Magic Field, and I have both those spells.
I'll allow you to make a reactionary Arcana check, and the DC is the level of the spell, plus 10.
Is that enough?
That is more than enough. It is 100% a Globe of Invulnerability, and I'll put that into the chat so you can read it.
Yeah.
And know exactly what it does.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say?
The only other spell I could think of would be Octoluke's Resilience Sphere.
Well,
yeah. This is a fiery variant, perhaps, but it's possibly that's just the style of spell casting. Normally, when wizards cast spells, they do look sort of similar if they've been copying from the same spell book. For example, when you use Elravan spells, they are of Elravan's style. So it seems like he's come up with his own, and which point you can sort of guess that this guy is not a wizard. He probably has his own certain style.
Well, this has been a while since I've done this, and this isn't exactly how I wanted this to go. Dispel Magic, 6th level.
6th level. Okay, that will
Pop goes the bubble.
override. Yeah, will override the globe, I believe. Let me check.
It's
It's a
5th
6th level spell. It's a 6th level dispel. Yep. So you match the right level of arcane mastery that is being pulled from the weave here, and by that same level, you unmake it. The fiery bubble disperses and snuffs out. And he looks at you with a very discerning look and a raised eyebrow. He is so confused as to how you managed to do this without your spell components.
My last words before the end of my turn is, we're not here to hurt you. We just have something to do.
He is still very taken aback and very much on guard, especially considering you stripped away his protections. Euterpe is still sort of sat down with that glass of wine that she was offered, sort of nonchalantly staring at, like, spinning it around in the glass. Probably sets it down for a moment and stands up. Likewise, funnily enough, she does not use components either. After her transformation, she has innate spellcasting and can cast other things like yes. Do a straight up charm or a suggestion. He says, yes, as my friends have already intoned, we don't mean to harm you. So I suggest that you simply approach peacefully. Don't make any movements untowards.
Ooh.
In fact, actually, I would like to see the Sultan instead of Irina. Perhaps you could take me to him instead. And that is going to be the suggestion spell. Let's see if you can overcome this with
That
a
wasn't
wisdom save.
That wasn't the plan. That wasn't the plan. That wasn't the plan.
No, it wasn't, but she's taking things into her own hands. It's a fail. So this is the moment where Turfy seemingly comes in massive, pays dividends massively. Because he would have got another turn before you, Llewellyn.
Yeah, he was.
And Euterpe seems to have come in clutch. The Guardian Guard is stunned, and this one is charmed.
Yep.
However, he isn't completely aloof. He sees what's going on and goes, "Well, hey, hold on!" And he certainly draws his weapon, but he doesn't attack you, Carius, of course.
Yep.
You're his friend in his eyes.
Yep.
But he said he's going to rush to. Oh, what should he do?
Well, his fellow guard just got attacked. Right in front of him.
Yeah, I know. He's got to protect the Vizier as his first port of call.
That's true.
But there's a lot of you, and you seem to be able to cast spells all of a sudden, which is dangerous.
There's no protocol for this.
He's got one or two things. He's going to either run to the Vizier and help him, or he's going to run to get back up. And I say, on a 1, he goes to the Vizier's side, and on a 2, he's going to get back up. Okay. Snurg has spoken. He's going to rush past you, Kashan, actually.
Is he Kishan?
We just check if he can get around you, actually, with full movement. Yeah, you could actually...
Just
He
seeing
could
if
get
there's
to there.
anything like.
I think Karis gets an attack of opportunity. but
Yeah, I do.
If you do that, you enter the charm.
I'm seeing if there's. I'm just reading one of my things a moment, which is. Where are you? Let's leave this. Cast spell myself. Cast must target any of that creature. Okay.
He's drawn his weapon. He faces the group and says, "Get behind me, Vizier. I will protect you."
Just seeing if I have a non-offensive spell I can use to stop him that I can actually use.
That's a reaction. Probably.
Technically, I can because Warcaster just has to only target
I know
him.
you can, but like,
Yeah.
Levitate?
Nothing that. No.
no. Okay. Carius, you're up.
I'm just considering the best move here. Kashan's got that. There's a guard over there, but that guard's at least the way. You know what? I'm just gonna sate Karis's curiosity. He's gonna go into this. He's gonna dash and go into this side room, and just start looking to see if he can work out. Because if I remember rightly, we know there's a secret passage in here. So he's gonna.
You remember there was, yeah.
Yeah. So he's gonna try to work. He's gonna just sort of look and just sort of be like, "I wonder how this works."
We know the. We
I
know
don't
the
remember
book.
which book was it.
Yeah.
We know the
Okay,
book.
sure. That case, that's your turn. Kashan, you're up.
Muted.
It didn't press the button. Why didn't it press the button? I will just look over to the rest of the guys and just point to the guy at my feet.
I mean,
Well, those.
no kill.
Yeah, don't. Maybe just if you've got rope, tie him up.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. I will attempt to tie up this boyo.
Yeah, you can do so without a need of a roll or anything. He's stunned, so he automatically fails.
Why don't we do that with more enemies that Kashan stuns?
It is a good question.
It's usually in the middle of combat, and there's hundreds of other enemies.
Yeah,
And
he's
I'm too
usually
busy.
running from one to the other to stun like everyone he can on the turn order.
Yeah.
But you restrain this guy, and
Might
he's
be
now
worth
tied
gagging him as well, so he doesn't shout.
I shall do that exact thing. And would that be my action to do that?
I'm going to say yes, because this isn't just you can't replace an attack or anything with that. Yeah, to fully bind him and restrain him is an action.
Oh, okay. So I'll just kind of like move him over to the table or something, pop him up in one of the chairs, and then I'll go to Irina's
Make it
side.
look like he's just chilling.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a tea party.
Okay,
Your tea.
that brings us to the Vizier, who had other plans in mind. Now that he realizes what's going on, the full extent of your capabilities, even though you don't have magical items with you. But these plans have been completely foiled by Euterpe's interception, and he simply walks out from behind the guard's kind of protective stance, and almost completely ignoring the guard who's on the floor, addresses Euterpe and says, but of course, and says, if you will kindly follow me, I will lead you to the Sultan. And you can tell that there's kind of glazed over look over his eyes. He hasn't got that fierce look of betrayal on his face anymore. He looks much more calm and eloquent.
Ooh.
And he takes a short bow, and Euterpe does raise to her feet, and he begins over to the door and opens up the double doors to lead her out. He's basically gesturing for her to go first. Thank you, Grand Vizier. Most kind. And it's going to be Andy's go.
Yeah, she's following. Sneaking following.
Okay, you're going to sneak along. Okay, cool.
She'll kind of like, what I want her to do is, because of course the vellum was still quite close, she's going to quickly kind of like, I don't know, kind of tap him on the shoulder, because of course she's got greater invisibility, so this will stick no matter what she does. She's just going to make him aware I'm following them.
Right.
And
Okay.
then hurry after them.
All right, then.
So at least Lavella knows that she's going.
Interesting.
I mean, we still have Rary's telepathic bond up as well.
I forgot about that, but okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
so you can communicate that very easily to them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. That is interesting. So you kind of you can move up to here and then basically hold your action to like dash, or use your movement to follow along exactly the same pace as they are. So with that, Lavellin, it is. Oh, sorry, it's Irina and then Lavellin. It's greater in Viz, so it lasts a minute, I think.
Ooh,
Can I
yeah.
quickly add something?
Yes.
Just in case any of the others need to follow later on, she'll almost kind of like leave a trail of some kind.
I like the idea that she just grabs loads of leaves off these plants. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Just
need
like little tiny scraps of leaves almost, so that it's not too obvious sort of thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah, there's like a large fern that you can probably pluck individual little
Bristle.
bits off. Sure. Okay, and you're letting them know to follow
Yeah.
those if they want to find you.
Follow that trail.
Okay. Cool.
Follow the Greenleaf Road.
Yeah. It's Irina's go.
Okay. The fireplace.
Yeah.
Do I get the
You
feeling
wanna-
it's arcane focus?
You can, if you want to spend your time
Yes,
scrutinizing
I
it, then you can use an action to roll an investigation or an arcana check. Your choice.
do. We'll go with investigation.
Okay.
27.
27. Okay. When he cast that spell, you noticed, because you're sort of from that same angle, it didn't seem to react or flare up in any sense. As you look over towards him, you can see that he does have some sort of arcane focus already on him. Perhaps there's plenty of jewelry and even a sword that could potentially be his arcane focus. As you look over to the fireplace, it seems to be dying down on its own. And as you get closer, you can see the fire doesn't seem to be. It's probably a different color to the color you saw him produce as well. When he created like a fiery barrier, I should have mentioned that there was sort of more of a bluey tint to it, whereas this fire is a different color entirely, and you pick up on that. It's a normal red flame, or yellowy orange flame. So should I say? It's nothing like his fire.
Okay. Right. In which case, what I'm gonna do is following. I'm
You
gonna
want to follow
follow.
him? Okay.
It's mainly because I suspect what Euterpe is planning, and I have concerns. Because
Yeah, that's partly why I'm following.
Oh boy. Okay. Arena, you can move up to here and then get rid of follow. Llewellyn.
oh, actually,
Hmm?
what I actually might do is I'm gonna stop here just in case this guard tries to go and run for help.
Okay. Yep. Sure.
Just sort of hanging back, but I'm sure Kashan can take care of that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Llewellyn then.
Plan A is still in effect. As I walk past Euterpe, I'm like, yeah, whatever you're doing, suggestion lasts 8 hours, so I'm gonna try and cast Modify Memory on him. And he's not fighting us anymore, so there's no advantage.
He is under another charm, it seems. Yeah, you're right.
So I'm going
Okay.
to.
Modify his memory. Wisdom save?
It is. Shit.
I rolled pretty damn well.
You
Unless
did.
you have anything else to reduce that. I don't think you guys do.
No.
You got no wild mages and
No.
I'm so used to other campaigns at this point, just going out minus this, minus that. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, if Carius was the
Alright.
one casting it, he could have done something, but
Okay.
Plan
So
B
as you
will
try
happen.
to
Oh,
you try to enter into his mind. His mind seems to be elsewhere at this point, concentrating on helping Euterpe get to her destination. It's almost as if there's this kind of battle of charms going on and trying to affect his mind whilst it's already being puppeteered effectively. Doesn't seem to go through.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
plan
It's
B.
like two people trying to get through the door at the same time, and you're like stuck into each other's shoulder.
3, 4, 5. Yeah. I have another idea, which involves what you guys are all doing.
Okay.
That'll do next turn.
All right then.
After Kashan,
It is
pummel this guard.
Euterpe's go. She just simply finishes off glass and begins waltzing towards the vizier and says, "This is what you wanted, isn't it? Anyway, we have the vizier under our control." And she says that through the telepathic bond.
We didn't want him under control. We just wanted to modify things so that he forgot he met Andy.
Well, I'm sure you'll have another chance on the way. Right, Levin?
Yeah, I guess.
Then let us continue at a leisurely pace to the throne room. And you do see the vizier begins to lead on, side by side with the vizier. And they're not going they're not sprinting away from you, but you will get definitely another chance, provided this guard doesn't just suddenly get up and start messing with stuff. So this guy's no longer stunned. You detained him in
He is
rope.
tied up.
Yeah, he's restrained. That doesn't stop him from attempting to get out. What do you time with? With just rope?
Just rope, yeah. Just
Yeah.
happen.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's fair to give this guy some attempt to get out. He's got disadvantage though.
Wow.
Double.
Wow.
Oh my god. Jeez. Okay. So this guy is clearly well trained. Trained enough that he's able to effectively muscle his way out of the rope. And I mean, he did tie it. You tried to tie it well, but this guy is clearly just somehow able to bust free of it. And this guy, he's quite muscular, clearly, but he does manage to break free. That takes his full action to do that, though. Who's he going to go after? You're blocking this door. He's rushing this way. Llewellyn would get an attack of opportunity if you really wanted to take it. But
yes,
that's up to
I
you.
do.
I mean, sure. Uses your precious reaction, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not a dagger, but I'm going to roll it as a dagger.
Okay.
Actually, I'll use the hook, but yeah.
You don't have a hook, you have a whisk.
I know.
Yeah.
I
Through the
attempt to whack him over the head with a whisk as he goes past.
Well, that was quite a whisk you took.
Oh,
Wow.
Like,
you
get
think
back!
maybe? Yeah, you're like, if maybe I can hook onto some clothing, I'll pull him, and then as the whisk gently head massages him, you're like, yeah, damn,
It unmakes his hair gel.
you forgot you replaced it.
And then I just look at both my hand and the whisk. I'm like, why did I use that one? I have a hand.
Okay, that's his go though. He had to take most of his turn busting free. In fact, as well as that, should also move him back 15 foot because he did have to get up off the floor as well. So he's rushed out through the doors and he's probably calling out as well.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's probably going to shout at the very least. Like, guards! I need help in here! It is the other guy who is charmed by Carius as well. And he's very confused to what's going on. It's like, what?
Darius calls out, "That guard there is trying to betray the vizier. We're getting him out of here."
Okay, roll a deception check. I'll say with advantage because he is charmed.
They didn't roll with advantage, but I will roll again just
Go ahead,
in case.
roll again.
Haha, 19.
19?
Yeah, my first roll was a 19 overall.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. He rolled an 18. He's clearly knows something is up, and he's just about to perhaps barge into Llewellyn, and then the charm effect seems to just warp his mind. It's like, he is? But
He is.
could have swore he was.
Restrain
doesn't make
him. We
any
need to
sense.
find out who he's working for.
I mean, this is all very irregular, but he seems to walk up to him nonetheless. He doesn't get into the process of detaining him, but he has walked up to him instead of attacking Llewellyn. His mind is too under the effects of the charm spell. Okay, Carius, you're up though.
Okay, so Carius, just in his head, which book was it to open the secret passage?
Oh, you asking Llewellyn or me?
The part Llewellyn. Llewellyn knows.
It was that book. Llewellyn says the specific book that he saw.
So Llewellyn will
Okay.
use that book to try to open the passage.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna make you roll for it. There is definitely a clear defined book this time round. And as you pull it, the bookcase slides away.
Was doing that
Revealing-
using my action?
No.
Then you know what?
Do you want to keep?
For my action, let me just... It has to be within 30 feet of me, so 5, 10, 20... 30. I'm going to use my action to bring out Tackler.
Okay, sure.
And then I'm going to...
Oops,
Yeah. And then on his turn, I'm going to send him after the rest of the party. But Carius is going to go down these stairs and see what he can see.
Just,
You're gonna go down. Okay.
just
As you step down, there's no sunlight or candlelight down here, so you're kind of just relying on your dark vision
Yep.
as you descend down the staircases, and you would actually get there pretty quickly. The staircase leads down into another kind of smaller, darkened chamber. This also has shelves lined with books and scrolls and documents by the looks. And there's a central table as well with what's it called? Magnifying glass, effectively, for like inspecting these. There doesn't seem to be any writing equipment or anything. This looks like it's purely for studying and discerning documents. And I guess what else? Funnily enough, there's actually some pottery down here as well. You can't quite tell exactly what it depicts in this sunlight or in this light, but it's clearly like valuable in at least the shape and the size. You'd need some light to really shed some detail.
Looking at it in too much detail, based on the sort of shape and style, does it appear similar to the ones we found in the ruins, like in terms of like the general shape?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Interesting. And I'm just checking how Find Familiar works, because you communicate with action to do that. Okay, yep, that's fine. Cool. So.
Okay.
Yep.
It is. I'll add one more detail. There's at the back wall. There doesn't seem to be a shelf there, but there does seem to be what looks the equivalent of like a cork board, effectively, and there seems to be certain pages like pinned against the wall. And there also seems to be perhaps some sort of diagram. But again, you need some light to really try to illuminate what this diagram represents.
Yeah.
Okay. Kushan, these guards are getting up and broken out of your rope.
Okay.
It looks like they got the vizier under control, but these guards are about to break your cover.
Right, so I'm just going to sprint after them.
Yep, you can easily get up to it. He's running for them.
And I'm going to give them a clock each.
All you hear is, as quietly as possible.
I'll try! So first strike going to the first one. Well,
That's a hit. Do you want to con save him?
Yeah, con save, please. Boom.
Yeah, he's stunned again.
And second one.
That one
16.
misses this guy. Yeah, he's actually able to parry it out of the way.
Flurry of
He said-
blows.
What? If this guy's the intruder, why are you attacking me? And then he seems to
Yeah,
just turn
that
to you and get
breaks
ready
you.
to.
Yep.
He's not having any of this.
That's fine.
And there
That
goes the
hits,
charm.
I'll take a con save there.
You will take another one disadvantage. All right.
And
So glad you chalked up. That was nearly a natural 20. But
and
he slumps against the back wall there as well.
yeah, I'll just sidestep him with my last attack. I'm just going to boot this guy back into the room. That should have been with advantage, but
Yeah. You're just pushing him back.
yeah.
Okay.
And
All
with
right.
my last little bit of movement, I'll just move this guy back into the room and close the door.
Close the door as well. Okay. Yeah, you realize these guys are going to continually try to get up and get away unless you're able to do a bit more than just detain them. But I mean, definitely try again. I don't know how much rope you guys brought, but that is your go. Vizier is going to simply lead you out, and I'm going to take these three onto a different map at this point. In fact, Llewellyn, you're chasing after the money.
Yeah, yes and no. Because I have an idea for my turn,
Okay.
but I need everybody visible, which I know
That's not going to happen now, as the Vizier leads you round a corner, through doors,
there's a
along a passageway. So effectively, you end up somewhere like here. Okay.
Well, I at least use invisibility on myself, Irina, and Kashan. Then before I follow them.
Well, and when it comes to your turn, you mean, yeah?
Yeah, which is next.
Yeah, and Andy, you're gonna continue to follow along, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just because you were dragging me away before my turn, so I was like, something I wanted to do.
All right then.
But obviously, Irina will get her turn before she goes invis.
All right then. So Andy continues to follow along. Irina and Taklo.
Taklo
This
is
combat's kind of coming to an end.
Taklo is going to dash after. Well, basically, probably just hop onto Llewellyn's shoulder and just be following along that way. For now, I guess.
It's fine. All right, Irina, you go along.
I use my action to dash to catch up.
Okay.
I'm following.
All right. Gotcha. All right then. In that case, Llewellyn, you will be able to turn. Is it Llewellyn, yourself, Irina, and
Yeah, I could do Andy as well if she wants to drop the spell because it only lasts a minute. But that's up to.
well, what will happen is you can actually layer. It's weird. You can layer on greater invisibility and invisibility on one person.
Oh, then I'll do that. Yeah.
What will happen is after the minute of greater invisibility, normal invisibility will resume.
Because they're
Unless,
different
of course,
spells.
unless they cast a spell or attack during that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do that. It's not a problem.
I'll do that then.
It doesn't stop their spell.
I also will let everybody know through Rare is that I cannot do modify memory because what we need to modify is about 30 days away, which is an upcast. 7th
You
level.
mean? Wait, what? You can't
Why
modify
30
memory
days?
anymore.
I only have one 7th level spell.
That was your one chance.
It was.
Okay, that's
Unless-
a good job. Well, like I said, paying dividends that you have Utopi with you, because he has other ways to charm people.
Unless we wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess so.
Try again.
Oh man.
What we can do now is try to prove to Kadir that the Sultan is doing what Euterpe says he's been doing.
Yeah.
Shifty shit.
We need to get proof of the shifty shit, yes.
So yeah, Kashan is also invisible.
All
Because
right.
I assume he's gonna spend his action to restrain these guys.
So you cast this at 4th level, invisibly, or is it
5th. It would be 5th level.
5th? All right. All right. Everyone's invisible. These guards are stunned.
Okay. Carius on his turn is going to light a torch because they didn't take his torches off of him. Okay.
No, they wouldn't have taken torches.
So, and then he's going to have a closer look at these things in this room.
Okay. In this room, as you begin to rifle through documents, you can tell most of them have been signed by the previous vizier, of which I did have a name somewhere. Nope, all I put was the old vizier. Great.
Ritual chocolates. What the heck is a ritual chocolate?
That's just
What?
creepy.
It's what Lavella just posted.
I know, I'm reading it.
Carius went down there, and Chris went, "You find," and then I was just like, "A shrine to Irina."
Okay, so
Big old red flag.
Yeah, run.
I'm still want to know what a ritual chocolate is.
Make the love spell work.
I mean, I suppose chocolate as a component for suggestion in that sort of way would make a weird amount of sense, I suppose, or dominate person.
okay, so you come down and you can see that it all signed by the Grand Vizier Mayirif, which is definitely not this guy's name, Kadira. So you can already kind of assume this must be the previous vizier's signature and such. They document the general day's kind of work underneath the Sultan. And there seems to be the ones. Give me an investigation check real quick,
Okay, investigation.
and tell me which where you're going specifically to like look at. If you want to look at the pots or you want to look at the corkboard,
So you got the pots, the corkboard, and
then there's the books of documents. Yeah, under them. Wow. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Tell me, which one do you want to look at?
Damn. No. I think I'm gonna go for the corkboard because that seems like the sort of thing where he's trying to piece together things. So that makes.
Indeed. Yes, you would be right.
Conspiracy theory meme.
Yeah,
Yep.
effectively. Yeah, it's the string corkboard. There seems to be documents that these ones particular. These don't just detail every day working under the Sultan. These seem to depict something else. A notice in the Sultan's demeanor, mannerisms. There seems to be a change that only this vizier seems to have been picking up. And it's not so much as a change in the vizier, but sorry, a change in the Sultan, but like a change across, how to put this, across his own mind as well. And this vizier is very old. You can tell because some of the passages read like this. Like, I can't tell if it's my old senile mind. I don't know if I'm even old enough to be doing all of this complicated diplomatic job, but there's something changed in the Sultan. Although it is my sworn duty to obey him and serve him, I can't help but question something has changed.
So, Karis is just going to say into his head, so this secret chamber has some pots, it has some papers, and it has a conspiracy court board. And it all seems to be about the Sultan.
I have one of those too.
And it
In my
seems
head.
like the previous guy, Mayarif. Apologies if I mispronounced that, Andy.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm apologizing to Andy specifically, but they're the other person from the Clawed Coast. It seems like there was a change in the Sultan, like change in like demeanor and personality, that they were beginning to question things. I'll keep looking into it whilst you guys do your thing.
Yeah, it totally doesn't stop there either. But
Mm.
I will. I'll hold on to that for now. That's the first part you begin to read. It's within 6 seconds, you're like, oh, okay, right. Bashan, these two cards again.
These two cards again.
Yeah, what are you
Yeah.
going to do with them?
Last time they broke out of your ropes, no problem.
You are invisible, and if you do,
Yeah, if you make an attack against them, they will. Your invisibility will end.
I will. Let's have a look.
that's completely up to you. If you want to just go ham on these guys.
I mean, I could just beat him up.
It seems the most sensible thing to do at this point.
Yeah, I'll just knock some
You're
sense
just
into
having this
them
conversation
or
in
out
your
of them.
head.
Yeah.
Why not?
And then you'd have to
Just beat
sneak,
them up.
have to
Kind
sneak
of would
away
have
with
just beat
us.
them up.
I'll just kind of reach into my bag and pull out the little capsule, and as I say, zippity yip. I'm just gonna start wailing on them with my makeshift bow staff.
Okay. So I will. Sorry, excuse me. I will say make some attacks on this guy and with advantage, and we'll just see how far you get in terms of damage.
Right.
And again.
Right.
And he's still going.
Bonus action.
Ooh,
Should have been with advantage,
flat.
so.
Don't forget you got advantage.
Oh yeah, of course. I don't know why it didn't roll it with advantage, but okay.
I think that might
Okay,
have been broken
that-
in this game as well.
That knocks him out. Which
Okay.
leaves that one left. And he too is stunned. So if you hit him with you've got one more attack. If you bonus actioned.
Yeah, I don't know why it only rolled 3. I thought I rolled 4, but oh well. Yeah, I'll go for this guy then. Flat.
Okay. And are you going to attempt to stun him again? Because you'll break out of the stun next turn, won't it? I mean,
Yeah.
now you'll break out the stun.
Yeah, I'll just
You
stun
can
him now.
Okay. Wow. That
It's a
beats your
hardy
AC. I
guard.
think that beats it. Okay,
Oof,
so he is
that
not
does.
stunned. Means he will get another go. Which means
Still
he's
charmed
not
by
long for this world. Okay.
No, he
he's
won't
gonna
be
try and shove him.
charmed, because charm breaks
He
once
is
you
also-
harm them.
Yeah, only if you harm them. He's charmed by Carius, but he definitely sees an opponent in Kashan. He's going to
He's not
attempt to get past
charmed.
you, Kashan. And I know how this goes, but maybe he shoves you first. Just give me an acrobatics or athletics check, your choice. I'm just going to try and shove you.
Bring it.
Nope, I failed miserably. Okay, you get an attack of opportunity as well.
Go. Whack. Oof.
Ooh, no, that's a miss. However, let me see. He's only got 30 feet of movement, and he will get to about here. And I know you can probably catch him and knock him down, but
I love
we-
it.
let's resolve this now real quick because the others are just following along the corridor. So yeah, you can go after him if you want.
Just like, nope, get back here.
Yeah. I love it when they run.
Zippity yip, let's beat this dip.
Fine.
Oh yeah. We know how that's going. He tries to dash up the corridor and he's shouting and shouting, and it's at this point you do knock him out, and he skids to the floor unconscious.
And I will just drag him straight back again.
You're gonna drag him back. Okay.
And I
whilst
slump them up in the chairs.
in the chair.
Do you
Okay.
like give them both a drink as well? To like weekend
Yeah.
I was gonna
the
say,
whole-
if you wanted to go really humorous, just pull them both on the bed.
No, we won't go that far. But I will.
Or in the
I will
bar.
like have one of them like with their cup like half full, and then another one's going to have his, but it's spilled across the table. Like,
Deck of cards in front of them and they're playing pontoon.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I'll make a proper scene out of it.
Okay, yeah.
So if someone walks in, they just see the back of two people who look like they're having a drink and playing cards.
Sure. I'll say as you set up the scene, just give me a quick deception check. This will be to set the DC for any people that do try and walk in. But,
Oh no! You're like,
yeah, there's definitely blood all over the ground where you've kind of like smacked them and knocked them out. So that's kind of maybe a little bit of a giveaway.
It's been
the
a brutal
wine.
game of cards.
Okay, yeah, sure. The wine could be. You could maybe mistake some of the wine. Sorry, the blood for wine, but I mean, it's all over their faces. Anyway, that's only going to come to pass if these guys mess up the next part. So, the five of you, including Tackler,
Mhm.
walk around into this a kind of labyrinth-like passageway that goes deeper into the actual palace itself. You get up a set of stairs, go around a corner, and it's at this point you suddenly come around the corner and come face to face with another guard. And I'm just going to pull you to the scene now. Let's get Turpy over there. There we go. Okay. All right.
I mean, I'm not be right back in.
Okay. Tell me when you're all loaded on in.
I'm in.
And we need Irina, don't we? There we go.
There's two of me.
And Tackler. Okay.
This is So plan C.
And also, we're not in combat anymore, just so you're aware. Okay, so you can see the map yet?
Yeah. Corridor.
Yeah. All right. As you come around the corridor, you come face to face with a guard. You almost like bump into him, and here you guys kind of get up to here. And this guard is fully clad in a black armor that is definitely not like the usual Guardian armor you've seen before. He doesn't even seem to have a ribbon that denotes his rank. His helmet and greaves kind of have a bestial kind of like design to them. The helmet is almost like a hound or some sort of like monster. For all you know, it's hard to tell exactly, but the jaws are like wide open and the teeth kind of come down like a visor, and then the gauntlets are also like clawed as well. On his back, there's an assortment of weapons, and he also has a shield on his back as well. He's not got anything well, he's probably in the process of drawing a large glaive, and he comes around the corner to see the vizier like face to face, and he's like, "What? I heard shouting. calling for guards. Are you okay? And the vizier says, I must escort these. He turns around and it's just Euterpe at the moment. I was escorting her to the Sultan. It is of great importance. It's he seems to just try to get past him because he's just under this suggestion spell. So he doesn't really like stop to explain. He's just already kind of moving around, and it's just Euterpe kind of following along. And this guard definitely stops Euterpe in her tracks and says, "Well, hold on. This is also sudden. You're not the treasure he was expecting." He turns to the vizier like, "No one sees the Sultan unless." And then the vizier says, "Unless I say so. That is right. And I say she sees the Sultan. I have no time to explain myself to you. The Sultan must not be kept waiting." And she kind of narrowly tries to slink around his side. And I'm just going to quickly give him an insight check here to see if he can see through this. Yeah, let's give him an insight check. Pretty good. He's pretty insightful. He can tell when something's up, for sure. And he says, "What about?" He starts to follow the vizier, like in tow with Euterpe. He says, "What about the capturer? Wasn't there someone who delivered her? And why are you taking her to the Sultan? At least tell me why." And the vizier says, "She has been granted an audience because," and he starts to sort of falter on his words, not knowing an actual true reason. He probably starts to question himself as well, because there isn't one. Euterpe never gave one. Simply asked to be taken to the Sultan. And it's at this point the vizier just steps through and into the throne room, but the guard doesn't seem to stop. He seems to get back here. Llewellyn, I saw you trying to sneak past. Give me, everyone who's invisible, give me a stealth check with advantage. Because something is clearly fishy. All right. 20, 16, okay.
Ooh.
And 22. Okay, all of you are able to sort of sneak past just barely, even though he's got these large weapons and spolders that are kind of jutting out. You are able to just about sneak through and into the throne room. However, it seems as though this knight is continuing to follow. Let's put him next to you guys. You should be on a different map again in a second. Yeah, okay. And it's at this point you see that the Beast Knight places a hand on the vizier's shoulder and says, "Something's up here." He says, "Come to your senses." And it's at this point everyone feels like a ripple in the air, like a wave, and hard to express other than it's something magical. And he doesn't do any kind of somatic components, doesn't even say a spell. But it's at this point the vizier suddenly just stops and he's like, "Huh? What?" And he like shakes his head. He says, "I thought so. You were under a charm. Thankfully I can end such deceptions." The rest of you guys enter in just behind as this happens. And Euterpe is just like, "Damn it," in speaking to you telepathically, like, "Damn it, this guy somehow saw through it." But we're already here. And as you look into the chambers beyond, you do in fact see the long carpeted, tiled throne room of the Sultan. These pillars kind of line the chamber, and you see there's a large balcony out into the open, sky. So there's quite a lot of natural light flooding in here, and it's quite a warm temperature. And illuminated right at the back is, in fact, the Sultan. His back is turned to you, and he has this large flowing robe with a sort of fiery design on it. And he was kind of currently in the midst of a conversation by the sounds, and you can hear him like talking just for a moment, but there's no one else in the room. And you can see he's looking down at perhaps the table. There's a large bottle set, and it too has these kind of flame-like designs on it as well. In fact, I might have a picture for you. Yes, I do. Okay. Effectively looks like this. But as Euterpe says, I don't think he's charmed anymore. What should we do? You guys are all able to act at this very point. You guys are flooded in. You're all still invisible, still unseen.
Mm,
But there's a very, very obvious that the vizier turns around and says, "Wait, what? Where are the others? What are you guys gonna do?"
are we waiting this out for this meeting, or are we
You
going?
could. I'm not expecting you to suddenly do something, but I'm just giving you the option to. If you want to quickly duck away into behind the pillars and wait this out, that is totally fine as well.
Yeah.
Inaction is an action.
I think I'm gonna sort of. I've headed all over to the right anyway, and I'm gonna sort of go from pillar to pillar as they move
Yeah.
closer. So I'm keeping an eye line with them.
Gotcha.
I will hide behind pillar too.
Go
Yeah.
behind a pillar. Alrighty.
Mhm.
The knight turns and has immediately drawn his weapon on Euterpe. Says, "Please, please, there's no need for violence. I'm simply returning. I know the etiquette here. I've been here before. In fact, the Sultan knows me well. Could call us old acquaintances. So I suggest you lower your weapons and wait outside whilst we converse." And you see the unmoving, emotionless stance of this knight, completely unaffected by the spell. Not even like a faint, like, huh? He just completely uncharmed. And Euterpe says, "Ah, you are something. Are you even human underneath that mask?" And he says, "I've been guarding the Sultan for a long time. Having someone who can end these kind of nonsense spells is exactly the kind of protection he needs. Now, who are you, really? Answer." The vizier is kind of like backed away from this as well now, seeing that this knight has taken over the authority. In fact, he's probably getting ready with some sort of spell, just like a firebolt in his hand, just sort of spinning around, waiting to be unleashed, just in case he tries anything. And you see a flash from the helmet of the knight as well. It says, "Who are you?" "Well, like I said, I'm an acquaintance. I've not told any lies." And at this point, the knight kind of raises up his arm and pulls out the shield. And you do see him cast a spell and says, I can tell you're telling the truth, but there was some deception behind this. I won't let you take another step closer to the Sultan. The Sultan has turned around at this commotion at this point, and I guess at this point you would all see his face as he steps away from the table with the bottle on it. And as he turns, you see this very visible flare on his head sort of arise and set ablaze. He is definitely Genasi in origin. His skin is like seared red, and he turns around. He's kind of got this. He's got this curious look on his face. Like, what is this? This is intriguing. And as he turns, he says, "Oh, I do recognize you, actually. It's been a long time. Euterpe. Finally. You've returned back to my arms. Couldn't stay away from the luxurious life, I assume."
No
And
fucking way.
his voice is slightly higher pitched.
Oh my fucking god.
He says to the knight, he says, "Please don't harm our gracious guest. She's returned of her own free will." And he says, "Tanner, step away." You see the knight literally back away. He's still got his spear in hand. She's tried to warp the vizier's mind. Your my lord. And you see the knight just sort of step away, and he goes, "Well, you can't blame her. She is a master of wills, illusions. Why? The real question is, why have you come back?" And at this point, seeing that she's kind of been allowed to approach effectively, and that the knight has been told to back down, she shows quite a great deal of confidence and strides forward, straight towards the vizier. The sultan. And I guess you guys begin to make your way past pillar to pillar. And Euterpe kind of gets closer and says, "Actually, I think I'll be asking the questions. I want to know why this spineless coward is still in charge of Gaidea, and why he chooses to hide his face from the public. Why make a rule that no one can see the Sultan? Shouldn't you be leading with respect? How can we respect someone who hides in his ivory tower?" But I think we know the answers to that. And she points an accusative finger. "It's because you're not really the Sultan." Meanwhile, back in the strange the strange underground room, which is underneath the vizier's chambers, Carius, you begin to piece these things together. With a natural 20, it seems as though this old he's not going insane. He says his appearance has changed, but he tries to make it out as if I'm the one who's gone insane. It's like he's pulled the wool over everyone's eyes. He's told no other servants are allowed to see him, just me. And it's something else as well. He's started a war with the other nations. The old Sultan was content with his seat of power. Surely this is some sort of usurper. I must warn others. I must. And it seems as though the documents begin to outline, like, I think he's beginning to get suspicious of me. I know something has happened. Some sort of magical phenomena. Everyone else is completely oblivious. But I've known the Sultan long enough. And it seems as though this is one of the last kind of messages or documented things. Like he was about to kind of make a big reveal, and then these kind of documents sort of end. But some of the things that mark this transition are the declaration of war on other Clawed Coast nations, and the fact that somehow there is an unseen power that he has as well. And he says it's everything changed. The last thing you see is probably must be that damn bottle. Everything changed once he got his hands on that thing. But this is the last kind of documented thing on the corkboard.
Yeah. This is just like, so the Sultan might not be the Sultan, guys, and the bottle is important in this.
Yeah, as you say that, it's the same moment Euterpe says, "You're not really the Sultan," and you also see a flare in the bottle as well. It seems to be kind of not just the pattern of flames, but the flames themselves seem to be like real and coalescing around the bottle.
From
Anyone?
where
Go.
we are, can we? Is the nature of the bottle kind of like me and Candlewick, like in the sense that there is a living entity within it giving him power?
I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell that just by looking at it, but that's a pretty good theory. There is definitely a sort of connection from at least the color of these flames. Definitely resemble the flames on this Genasi's head, for sure. And it's almost as if in reaction to the Sultan being accused of this is when that bottle flares up without command as well.
Does it have like a stopper, or is it completely sealed from top to bottom?
There is indeed a stopper. Yeah, there's a lid on the bottle, as per like the art. You can see there's kind of like a small, it's like a little cork bottle, I guess. Yeah, but you can see that it's probably sparking at this point.
Options here.
Yeah.
We could either open it, or we could steal it and leave it in the ethereal with astral sea.
I'm also wondering if it's like the genie.
Well, that's what I mean. So we could either open it, and potentially the real Sultan's in there, right?
I would think so.
Do we open it?
I kind of want to open it.
We both mage hand at the same time and pull the stopper off.
A mage hand will drop your invisibility spell.
Oh
Just so
shit,
you're
it
aware.
will.
It will, yeah. You'd have to
if we
physically.
did it by hand without magic, would it drop?
No. It's only if you attack or cast a spell.
Oh, but if we touch it, what's going to happen?
At this point, as you're like kind of thinking this over, you can see the Sultan is flaring up with a rage. Like, how dare you accuse me as a usurper? I have been the Sultan for the past
they're both running over to it, and they're going to pull the stopper out.
You should know your place. Okay, you rush over to it, and this is the moment when you see the fire still. As again, every time he gets more angry, the bottle seems to be like sparking and shooting off little flames. Which one of you are touching it, or is it both? Effectively, it's both of you. Grabbing it at the same time.
As soon as I see that bottle move, I'm gonna attempt to polymorph the Sultan.
Oh, okay. I think we have an initiative call here right now. Yeah,
you need to turn him into a chicken.
I mean, we are invisible, so he can't see us doing it. But
oh yeah, I know you guys have got a surprise round. Effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do some initiative.
Keep behind
because
this.
I know this is gonna get messy. All
Are
right,
we okay to
got
take
everyone.
just like a 5-minute break before
Yeah.
we start combat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Be a
All
fake.
right, we'll be right back
Yeah.
as these two are about to touch the flaming bottle, and the Sultan is at odds with Euterpe. We'll be right back to resume this. This is getting heated up. See you in 5 or 10 minutes.
1, go.
All right. Okay, so back into the Sultan's throne room. We are straight from after having that little kind of thing revealed, and just one more thing to add to that as well is I've already mentioned to you off air, but there seems to be a reason why the old vizier is documenting this. He believes that if this charm effect is powerful enough to fool everyone else, that maybe he himself could be turned at one point. He's placed all these documents in various books that have been torn out and put on this corkboard as a way to remind himself of the truth and his discoveries. If he ever became charmed, he would have this written document telling him there's something amiss, and he isn't just losing his mind or etc. etc. But it seems the current vizier put these things together and figured this out as well, or at least he's got evidence, but nothing like he can act on, perhaps. We're going to start at the very top of the round. Kashan, you're elsewhere at the moment, but you can totally start running away to them if you wanted. The others are still able to communicate with you telepathically as well. So if you wanted to talk to them, feel free.
Yes. So I will say, how's things going?
Not good.
Not
You
good?
literally hear Irene and Andy in unison going 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need any help?
Yes.
Shall I go find our stuff?
Would be nice, please, and thank you.
Yes. And don't
Okay.
don't attract any guards.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay, I'll try. Give me 12 seconds.
Okay. In that
And
case, you start sprinting.
Sean will.
Gives you
Okay.
12 seconds.
You easily push your way out the doors, and are you using your feline agility?
I am, yes.
How much movement have you got on this turn?
200.
Is that without a dash?
That would be with. Oh, sorry, 150 because I'm not going to be spending key points for this. My
Okay.
apologies.
So what's your just your movement, not without dashing? What would it be?
50.
50? Okay. So you can get with 100 feet. You can get to actually. I'll say. So you can get with 90 feet. You can get to your stuff, and you see that there are guards, and they turn to you immediately. They're like, "Where are your others?
I'm
Why are you in such a hurry?"
invisible, aren't I?
Not anymore. You attacked the guards and knocked them out.
Oh, of course, yeah. Right.
So
How silly.
they do spot you, but you've still got plenty more movement. If you want to use to get out of sight, or I mean, it's up to you. There's definitely guards in the room, and they turn, and you, perhaps forgetting that you're not invisible, they turn to you and like, "Why are you in such a hurry? No running in the palace."
I'll just say the visitors in trouble. Friends are on it. Gotta go. And
What?
grab the stuff and go.
Hold on. You can roll a quick deception check for us. These guys are highly suspicious of
mean-
you rushing around.
In fact, no, deception's fine. We'll
Yep.
go with
Deception. Okay. They seem to guard the trough. You aren't able to just immediately grab your stuff because one of them is supposed to be guarding it after all. And he interposes himself between you. He says, "I can't allow you to have these weapons in the palace. These are for when you leave." And it
Hey,
doesn't look like you're leaving if you want to rush off to the vizier.
Well, do you want to rush up to the vizier? Because aren't you meant to be protecting him overall?
The vizier is in trouble, and you see the other guard rushing off, and we will deal with it. And the other
Okay.
guard definitely runs off. but this one stays.
Well, in that case, may I take my stuff so I may take my leave if that is no longer my problem?
This time are you trying to get your stuff back to leave? Okay. Oh fuck me. Yeah, give me another deception check because this guy might not be having it. It could be a 6.
Another 15.
He says, you may, but he does instead he steps aside, but he also deliberately moves over to where the other guard ran off and stands in the doorway, basically blocking it if you tried to run through him. You can get your stuff though at this point.
Don't be suspicious.
Perfect. So I'll just kind of like, I'll chuck like my stuff in my bag. I'll put my bow stuff over my shoulder. Like I'll get Andy's loot and like tuck it under my arm. Just get everyone's stuff and put it in my bag.
Okay.
And
It's
then
probably going to be the better part of your turn, getting all that stuff and talking to these guys. So
that's all fine.
For now, you load up with everything you can carry. Okay, that is your turn. All right, Sultan. He's technically surprised right now. Doesn't know that you're about to grab the bottle. So instead, he's probably just monologuing and saying, I gave you everything in this place. The finest food, most luxurious suite to sleep in. Why did you run away? And Euterpe just says, how can you say that? You know what you did. And he says, what I did? You must be confused. And there's just this back and forth, like each accusing the other, as if there's some sort of divide that they don't seem to be able to feel. Okay. It is the bottle in this particular instance, like on initiative count 20 effectively. Should be just before the Sultan. But all you see is just this rising flame that gets hotter and hotter, seemingly matching the Sultan's anger and temperament. And you can see it is definitely ablaze at this point, red hot. So Tana is just simply steps forward and he's just by Euterpe, guarding her. Llewellyn, you're actually also up.
So, just listening out for the because
You're gonna hold a polymorph, right?
yeah, because Irina basically said they were gonna be counting down, and as soon as they get to 0,
Yeah. Okay, so you can hold a polymorph spell if you want to do that,
pretty
or you can just
much.
let it loose now. up to you.
If he holds the polymorph, though, won't that drop invisibility because the both
It-
would be concentration technically? Because you
would,
concentrate
yeah.
when you hold the spell.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
it's true.
it's
But you
Andy's
guys
turn.
are still acting before everyone anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they're surprised.
So yeah, that's pretty much. I'm waiting for it, and I'm behind here, and Andy's next anyway. So the
All right
cork,
then. In that case,
the cork is gonna get unpopped.
I'm gonna drop the invisibility on them.
Well,
Do that.
yeah, because concentration.
Yeah. Okay. And
But
with
Andy would still be invisible due to greater, right?
for the time being, they probably got like I'm gonna say it took probably more than a minute to get up to here at the very
That's
least.
fair.
Definitely, yeah. It's a minute is not a long time. Let's be real. But Andy, you are up, and you're within reach.
You grabs the cork and tries to pop it.
Pop.
Tries to uncork it.
Yeah.
Okay. You do so, and there's also a searing heat over the bottle. in order to interact with it, we need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Let me just check where it is.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. It is so blisteringly hot that. Let me just check. Yeah, I'm afraid you just have to drop it just purely from the sheer pain. It is also 2d8 points of fire damage. So you take 10 points of fire damage as the searing pain in your hand, even just trying to uncork it, is enough to just catch you off guard, and you end up not even able to like lift it off fully off the table. You just place your hand around the cork, and then it's searing pain. So probably at that point the Sultan, what? And turns around just to see the the two of you appear and trying to grab it.
Pop.
Stop them! And he's just shouting.
Probably
The Vizier is surprised. He doesn't know what the hell has just happened.
He probably gets the word stop before he gets polymorphed.
Oh yeah, all right. Okay, I'll do that now then. The wisdom save will go. Let me just think.
See what happens.
He's gonna use Tides of Chaos for this. And roll an advantage.
Can he do that? Because isn't that reaction?
Yep, and he went first.
Oh yeah, because he got his reaction back, yeah.
Nobody makes much of a difference. Okay, what are you polymorphing the Sultan into?
I'm just gonna go with a Llewellyn classic and just he's a worm on the floor.
I can't even add Ben Luck to this. Look how awful that roll is. 4 and a 2. Sorry, what did you turn him into?
As much as I'd love to chicken it, but that would be a bit meta. I'm just gonna do a Llewellyn classic and just turn him into a regular earthworm.
Earthworm.
Yeah.
Earthworm Jim is
fireworm
falling to the ground and slithering along.
Don't want a creature that can hurt itself. Basically.
Well, funny you should have mentioned that. Carius, you're up.
So Carius, he's going to pop fast step because that allows me to move that bit further. Then he's going to. Did Kashan get all the equipment?
Oh, also 5, 10.
Yeah, if he says he's trying to carry everything, the glaive.
Yeah.
The
I mean, he could be using the glaive. Yeah.
It's just a glaive and a few wands and such, but I don't think you need everything.
No, so
the essentials, right?
Yeah, I'll just be grabbing like the essentials.
So Karis is going to dash as far as he can, and then he's going to fast step 60 feet, and then just basically try to get within 100 feet of Taklo. And on Taklo's turn, he's just going to move over to the Vizier and just be like, "So, what do you think of all this then? Not really the Sultan, hmm?"
He turns to his left, like confused, and just sees a little pseudo dragon out of nowhere.
Yep.
And apologies, I forgot. That would only be your item interaction, Andy. I forget you can still do other things as well if you wanted to try and cast a spell or something. So I was going to go backwards a bit. Was there anything else you wanted to do with Andy?
Not really.
No. Okay.
No, not really.
All right then.
At the moment, at least, anyway. So.
Okay. And Karis, you've dashed to get to your stuff.
Yeah, I've basically dashed and fast stepped to try to catch up with Kashan and grab my glaive off of him. I guess my glaives off of him.
Yeah. Irina, then, do you want to also attempt to grab said bottle?
Before I grab said bottle, I know I'm going to lose invisibility.
It's already gone.
Yeah, Investiture of Flame. So I am now resistant to fire damage, and then I will...
See, that would have been the smart thing.
We were invisible!
And you're not resistant to fire damage.
You're immune.
Same difference. I'm resistant to water or something like that.
No,
resistant to cold.
Immune is very important.
Yeah.
But
I knew it was the
funnily
one
enough,
that meant I didn't take damage from fire.
well, actually, you know what? I take it back. You're right. You're exactly right. You are resistant to this fire. You'll see why in a second. What else do you do? That's your action. So you're ablaze.
Yeah, I literally kind of just want to
Pop the cork.
yeah, essentially.
Shake it up like a bowl of champagne and pop the cork.
I will require a con save.
Con save.
Yeah. Yes.
Sure.
I know you're immune to fire damage, but yes, I need you to roll a con.
18.
That is a pass. Okay. The fact that you've activated this barrier, this vestigia, means you're able to push past this searing heat. And searing it is, despite the fact that you know you should be completely unharmed by this. The fire is so potent, so strong. It feels like it's from the very core of the earth, perhaps. Maybe it's even more than that. You're not even sure.
You
It's
think I'm
otherworldly.
afraid of fire? I've blown up more shit than you can see in a lifetime.
Well, you take 4 points of fire damage, and you're able to lift up the bottle, and you say you want to uncork it, yeah? Okay, you uncork it.
What am I releasing?
You see a swirl of fire that begins to spin upwards and outwards, 2 points that kind of rise and extend into two very large horns. Those horns then are draped in a flurry of fire that begins to shape out muscular arms, a chest that kind of like flexes out and emerges. At the same time, this circular fire begins to spout and spin and explodes outwards. And let's bring this guy onto the turn order. This thing resembles not a devil, but some sort of flaming genie. You've met creatures like this before. This is definitely an Afriti. And he just turns to you with these burning, bright red eyes. And you just start to see a grin stretching on the face of this creature.
Hola, amigo.
And he says, "Who releases me?
Just a
You are
fire
not.
here.
You are not Herodus."
No, I am not. And you are.
Ultar Taliban
I didn't get that.
Zamaz
What?
Izul.
That's a very long name. You're not going to repeat. But
I didn't
effectively,
hear any of that.
well, you can
It
call him
sounded like
Artal.
it sounded like Artar Taliban or something.
Yep. It's probably because you don't understand it because he's speaking in Ignan. And I don't think you
I
understand that.
understand
Ignan.
Ignan.
You
Ooh,
can. Arena can't.
I understand ignorant. Oh wait, no, I don't because of Kutshan.
Oh, yeah. Outplayed. Yeah, Andy's the only one who understands what his name was and what he just said. The first part is being Ultar, but you've never heard of this before. But it's a very lengthy, long name, as Ifriti want to do. But as he kind of emerges out of this, you see that ring is beginning to expand. And I'm just going to drag it onto the map in a second.
Where's the mask? Where's the mask?
You're going to have
I don't think that's the real Sultan.
no.
We
no,
did
it is
see this
not.
about 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
He's not in this bottle.
No, I'd be very worried if the Afriti was the Sultan, considering the Sultan attacked the Afriti.
Can we just stuff him back in there?
Don't think we can, but we can do something else.
Ooh.
Maybe. I don't know if it will work, but we'll give it a shot.
Okay, I think that's your go. It is. Actually, I need both of you to roll deck saves as you release this thing. The flame is right there on top of you. Okay. 10, and Andy. 21. Nice. Okay. All right. So this is 1d10 fire damage just for ending a turn. Then Irene, but you're already taking half. So yeah, actually, Irene takes 4. And Andy takes 4 as well. I mean 7. Okay, cool. All right. But this wall, well, it's not a wall. You can definitely see this swirling kind of almost comet of fire beginning to get brighter and larger as it begins to kind of swirl around him and circle him. So just bear that in mind. It's expanding outwards. Euterpes go. She says, "Well, you're not responsible, then who is?" And to that point, when the actual Freety is released, it says, "You." And the Afriti turns back and just grins this flaming furnace of a grin
Friend.
and says in Ignan again, "Me." And turns also towards Andy as well. Seeing both of you, he kind of begins to bring his hands together like a ball of fire again in his hands. And he says, "You are both part of the same flame. I can tell." And the ball of fire in his hand begins to go white hot, almost blindingly bright. The same divine flame surges within each of you. Euterpe sees his assailant and immediately is going to try and didn't get much in terms of offense. No use charming this guy.
Yeah.
She's going to cast a mirror image. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get some defensives up. Oh, yeah, no, Andy.
Shannon, hurry it up. There's a nice big target here for you to smash.
Yep. Okay. She is also going to. Well, Tanner's right behind her. He's surprised though. But it's back to you, Kashan.
So, out picking up all these stuff, I would like to zoom past the guard, but I would like to run along the wall.
Okay, you can give me an acrobatics check to try and tumble past him.
All Kashan can hear through the areas is help, 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 help.
He's going to try and obviously swat you down.
Done that.
Oh god,
Oh,
the
that's
stunt,
really good.
the stunt is pretty impressive, but he is quite large and imposing. And you see he hasn't unsheathed his sword yet. But he does bring it round and whack you with the sheath of the sword and pushes you back. You
Don't
can
make me
attempt
do
it again if
this.
you wanted.
Yeah, I'll give it another go.
Okay,
I'll
give
kind
another
of like
acrobatics.
try and feint one side and go around.
Okay. Oh man.
There we go.
Yeah, that time. He's like, you just sort of slide past him as he tries to like hit you again over the top of the head, probably actually sliding under his legs. Why not? You nutmeg him. And he's just like, get back here! And he's gonna be turned quite hostile at this point. And you know that there's another guard up ahead as well.
Yep.
He's already run off. So that'll be fun. You're dashing as fast as you can all the way, right?
Yeah.
So it's 100 feet dash. Or you
If I went an extra 50, would I be able to make it?
An extra 50 will get you into the L-shaped corridor. You'll be close, but not in the room. Quite a
But
while.
if I just do 100, then I should be able to make it next turn.
The next round, yes.
Cool. I'll just do that.
Okay then.
I'm trying to refrain from using
Key, yeah.
key.
All right. It's going to take a little bit, but you're making headway. And I would say that as you get to this 100 feet, you do see there is the other guard running up ahead in front of you towards what he can hear is definitely the shouting.
I'll
It
just
is
say down the what's it called?
Bond.
corridor.
The bond.
Telepathic bond.
Just I'm on my way. I've got everything. What? As much as I can carry.
Okay. All right. It's technically the bottle and this creature's go. Oh boy.
Ooh.
I need I actually already made you roll this. Okay, let's have Irina and Andy make another dexterity saving throw, please. Nice. Andy is flying colors at the moment.
Twice.
And Irina, not so good, but you are resistant to this. So only taking 12. Both of you only take 12 points
Doesn't.
fire damage.
Oh no, wait. I'm thinking Anti had more levels than Rogue.
Not yet. No, not enough. So as Altar emerges and begins swirling this flame, spinning it faster and faster, it enlarges as it goes. And unfortunately, the Sultan is still a worm at this point, but not for much longer, as this hurtling comet surrounds and expands and eventually smashes into the Sultan.
It's not big enough yet. Oh, you made it bigger.
Yeah, now it is. And the Sultan immediately getting hit by this will knock him out of his wormy state. He's on the ground, like wriggling around. Like, what? Wait, what? How dare you reduce me to such a pathetic maggot?
I mean, you
Okay.
are.
Oh, I mean, what else can he do on his turn? Yeah, let's see what else. Okay. He's going to turn to Irina and Andy, and he brings round these swords that just appear out of flame in both of his hands. He takes a swing at both of you, one each, and towards Andy as well. Jeez. You are resistant to this, however, Irina, so you take.
You've got uncanny. Have you?
You are only
Not
going
yet.
to take
Dang it.
In that level 3.
5 down to 2. So you can have 2 HP back. Ain't much, but it's something.
Cunning action, not indoor.
As soon as he lets loose these scimitars, they explode again out of his hands, and he resumes holding this kind of radiant orb in his hands. Okay, it's his go though. It is Tanner's go. Funnily enough, well, the Beast Knight sees that you guys are attacking the Sultan. He's not going to be able to hit you turfy much, but no, he was just going to protect the Sultan. 100%. All right. I'm gonna take a few swings with old Tabletop. Slave number 1. That's gonna. That'll hit an image, which immediately pops. Glaive number 2 will also hit an image. Good job I did, because that would have been a crit. And he would have totally smited on that one. And he's gonna. That's it, actually. He's got 2 attacks. Yeah, that's it. He takes 2 swings at Utopia, and both these images seemingly take the blows for her instead.
Okay, so
Okay.
hopefully it isn't a Tanner who still has access to that ability, because that would be horrible.
The guard who's behind you, Kashan, rushes towards you, and he dashes, of course, because he's gonna have to. But I don't think he even gets even anywhere close to catching you. So, Llewellyn.
Well, I've been thinking about what I can do, and it's not a lot. Yeah. I am going to, because my plan has changed now because he's no longer a worm. 5, 10, 15, 20. Would I have a line there? Yeah, I
A
can.
line.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
5, 10, 5. Oh, that's not movement. 25, 30. Right. I am going to try and lightning bolt both the vase and whatever that thing is.
Yeah, sure.
I
Not the
won't be-
Sultan, though.
Yeah, I won't be able to get the Sultan, sadly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll give him a dex save.
And I will do it because I've not got much else. At 5th level.
Fails. Oh, God.
Because I'm just seeing if I can destroy the vase as well, or I don't know.
The bottle. Yeah.
Knock it into the guy, maybe put him back.
I did that.
I don't know. Bit of both.
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
How do I do this?
So, like, where is the... Oh,
I tried to place a template and it didn't work.
that's alright. I've already rolled his dex save anyway. He failed. So he takes quite a substantial 39 points of lightning damage. It just surges through the fire and strikes at him. And he spits flames back at you in Ignan.
What happens to the bottle?
The bottle, you just see the lightning surge around it, and funnily enough, you see some of the flames on it change into pictures of lightning bolts on it for just the briefest moment before it suddenly returns back to flame.
Is it fixed in place or does it go
Yep,
flying?
it doesn't go flying. It seemingly just absorbs the lightning.
Ew. Ew.
Yep, this whatever it is not a medical item that is going to break very easily.
I know. I thought maybe it would throw it across the room at least.
You do see some of the lightning like trail up the bottom where the Afriti is. Probably why he failed so badly. It was like using it as a conductor, but it doesn't fly the bottle. It doesn't move it at all. In fact, it seems completely unhindered by your element.
Damn.
Almost like it is lightning itself in a ball, even though it's definitely got a fiery design. That's why I mentioned it seems to suddenly change the depiction to lightning bolts for a brief moment, and then switch back to fire.
That's all I got.
Mm-hmm. Whatever this is, it's a very powerful magical item. It won't just be destroyed. You've known items like this before. Such items that perhaps are only destroyed by tossing them into the river Styx or having the Allfather smite it. It's these kind of items that are completely almost indestructible.
I didn't think
Think
it
like
would.
the One Ring.
I was more hoping to like knock it out of the wall fire than destroy it. But
Yeah. It's potential you can knock it around, but it is unfortunately unmoved at this point. Not unmoved by lightning at the very least. Okay, it is Andy's go.
He's popping into the ethereal.
Bye.
Yeah, sure.
I'm in danger.
You've got this right, Odina. Bye.
Oh boy. Okay. Sure enough, you disappear. However, you don't seem to have escaped what is the weird, burning bright light that was held within his hands for a moment. It is still there. It is like this. It's almost like a burning sun, but it's so white hot. You can feel even the heat, even in the astral sea. And give me a perception check with disadvantage, only because of how blindingly bright it is right here.
Perception.
Yeah, with disadvantage. 15. Yeah, it is difficult to maintain like a visual on what's happening. You definitely feel like you've been pulled away from the immediate harm, and you're kind of floating backwards. But that flash of light that's still there in your head, it's like almost. Normally, you're like really far away from all the stars in the astral sea, but it's almost like you teleported right next to a star. Like you're like a blisteringly bright light, so you can't really tell what's going on, but you can swear it was where this Afriti was. Like it's exactly the same position it was. That's as much as you can tell.
She's just gonna be kind of like, this would be a really good time for you to come and help some my mum if you're there.
Okay. The turn order goes down to the Vizier, who is very torn right now, saying, "What? Apologies, Sultan. I have let others see your true."
Oh, for heaven's sake, it's pretty obvious he's not the Sultan!
Yeah, I mean, even I get that.
But
I thought you were smart!
he,
I literally just gestured to the big thing that's on fire next to me.
I was getting to that. I was going to say apologies for letting others see your true form. That true form being a charlatan, whoever you are. There you go. See, I was getting to that.
Ah, fair enough, fair enough. I mean, we
Your
found
true
your
form is
secret
clearly.
board, so.
Yes, something is awry. I've known it ever since the other vizier was, died of old age, supposedly.
To be fair, he
The
was a bit
Sultan is like,
decrepit and falling apart, but like...
that old codger. He was a nuisance. And he would have ruined everything. Ugh. It pains me to see you like this, but he strides forward.
Well,
And
go help
he
the woman
says,
you love survive. That goes this.
"Hey, we've barely been on a date."
That kiss says otherwise. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we've technically had our first kiss. Anyway, there's not much I can do against the Sultan when he is the one who taught me everything I know. But, he looks around, can animate some ferns.
I mean, you could go for
Or
the
like-
other guy. Tacto just points to Tanner.
Yeah. It says, I'm fully aware you're under an oath to protect the Sultan, but this is something else. What did he do? He's going to try and at least cast Old Monster on Tanner. It's an attempt, but let me see. Tanner's got a pretty good wisdom, yeah.
+3.
And he's got +3. He's gonna say that. Yeah, it's ineffective. Completely unaffected.
Damn.
Yeah, he says, "Damn it! I cannot hold the beast." All right. Well, at least he's attempting something. The Guardian Guard rushes up to the entrance. He's on the L shape, and you can hear Kashan running up behind him, and he's turning and he says, "No one is allowed to enter the throne room. Not even me. It is forbidden. No one sees the Sultan."
You just hear literally both Lavelle and Irina and Utapi screaming for Kashan to get his ass in here.
Yep. Bring the guards. Bring the guards. Bring the guards.
Sean, you have a guard in your way, and he's holding his action to smack a cat. It is Tackler's go.
Tackler's just gonna. I actually don't know at this point.
Yeah. Nor do I. Every turn has been like, what do I do?
Yeah, Tackler's just gonna flutter over to Tanner because he doesn't really know the whole thing and just like, so, why do you serve this guy? I mean, he seems like a bit of a dick.
He is the true Sultan.
Ah.
At least now.
I mean, right of conquest, I suppose. I'm Tacklo, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Do your stuff.
Pleasure.
Anna will try to step on him.
Yep, and that's what Tacklo's gonna do. He's just gonna chat.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, I am here to help my friend achieve greatness.
Does that include not fighting the big flaming giant thing?
That is, as he said, that is Ultar. He is the Afriti that the Sultan commands.
Ah, cool.
It is under his will.
So in the hierarchy, who's higher up, you or the big fire guy?
Don't try to divide us.
No, that wasn't me trying to divide. I'm just curious, you know. If I have to pick a side later,
I would like to hope he would listen to a friend over flaming.
Friends are good. Friends are good.
That would tackle.
So it's my job to protect. That is all.
So
if you're trying to assassinate the Sultan, then I will stop you.
Well, it's more we're trying to not have him steal the talent from our friend. If he lets our friend go, we don't care.
Speaks out like, I never did that. It was him.
Wow.
And he points towards the elemental.
Oh, would you look at that? Oh, Tar, he's even blaming you for his problems.
Also, he does turn as well, and someone is confused to what's going on. We'll get to that in a minute. Karis, what do you want to do on your
So, at any point, would Karis have caught up with Kashan in his last turn in order to grab his bits of the stuff?
Yeah, you've got your stuff. You can get faster into the room at this point if you wanted, or past the guard.
Yeah. So, what I'm actually going to do is, using my glaive, I'm going to catch up with Kashan.
Yeah.
Like, grab hold of Kashan, look through the door and go, hold on! And I'm going to thunder step into the room to bring Kashan right up into the battle.
Nice. So you can just... you can take him with you, can't you?
Yep. And
nice.
I believe range of 90 feet, I want to say.
Okay, let me just see where that is on the map. So... The guard's like by the door. You come around the corner to see Kashan here. So 90 feet get you 60 to the end of the corridor. And you're back over here. So you get 60 into this room.
Yep.
And how much? You got 90, right? So you can get another 30 feet from the entrance.
So I would do that.
Anywhere along this line is good.
Okay.
It'll be there or there.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
And so that was my action to do that. Do I still have my bonus action? Or would I about to use? Okay, so I've still got my bonus action. Then I'm just considering. Do I have anything that would be worth quickening at this point? No. So then actually, I'll use my bonus action to move an extra 10 feet using my one of my storm sorcerer abilities.
Okay. Cool.
The
a little bit closer.
Tempestuous magic.
Everyone else can see Kishan and Karius has entered into the fray with quite an explosive boom around the room as well, sending the column shaking for just a brief moment.
What can I say? I like to make an entrance.
Dude, the guard's like, doesn't even see where you guys are gone. It's disappeared. It is Irina's going. I think. Are we on the right? Oh yeah. How the hell?
Yep.
And knocked you off the turn order by changing map. My bad. Anyway, It is definitely Irina's go though.
Yeah.
I think you were on.
I was below Irina.
He was on 3.
I think I was just above Irina actually.
Yeah, he was on 3.
Arius and Irina have rolled the same initiative exactly.
Yeah.
3.14.
Kishan was
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was at the top with 21.
Yeah.
So what does Irina want to do?
Internally scream. And now that Andy is kind of safe and out of the way,
Yeah.
it kind of obviously this guy is huge, and
He's a large creature. Yeah. He's pretty imposing though, for sure.
He deals quite a hefty amount
Also,
of damage.
one quick question:
So,
you've still got you should actually still technically have the bottle in your hand as well. Just want to point that out because you lifted it up and uncorked it.
So the lightning wouldn't have hit it.
Oh.
No, it would have, but you could still, because like you could hold it right like that. Just quick question: are you continuing to hold that thing, or do you want to drop it?
can I yeet it across the room?
You could throw it at some distance, yeah.
Isn't there a balcony?
There is, yeah. Past this line at the back.
Took it off the balcony.
Sorry, I just want to check something. No, that's not going to work. Okay. How much does this thing weigh?
Quite a heavy ball, but only probably from the materials. Doesn't feel like it's
Would you
actually
say it weighs
carrying
about
much.
much as a person?
No, not as much as a person.
Sweet. Okay, that's great. I'm going to sort of stand there, look up at this guy, look at the bottle, and I'm gonna dimension door out of the room. I just ditch it in the hallway.
All the way this down here.
Yes.
Okay, you got it. Where is it? Here's the bottle. There it is. So you want to go
out
like
into the hallway with it?
Yeah, sure. Go that far, probably like over 160-foot, teleporting straight past the guard and into the hallway. Sure. You've got the. Okay, this is what happens. The Euphrates doesn't get yanked with you. It seems as though he's like fully out of the bottle. But what does seem to be the trailing fiery ball that seems to be flooding forward from it does seem to be attached to the bottle. And there's a weird moment where that fire kind of gets snapped like a whip all the way through the corridor, past Kashan's face, singeing some of your fur, and then it continues its spiraling movement, but it's outside the wall, it's outside the corridor now. So
Sweet.
this thing is like out of the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna try and time it so I can run back into the room.
Excellent. All right, there is a way to time it, and I'll give you a dexterity saving throw if you want to try and jump through the gap in the fiery ball.
Okay. Feet don't fail me
And-
now. They failed me now.
No.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay, you're taking a bit more damage, but you definitely got the bottle out of there. It's probably the best you're taking it though, because you're only taking half. Again, only 10 points of fire damage, as your investiture keeps you protected from all this. I think you do need to make con saves though to concentrate on this.
No,
Yeah.
because it's is it? Because it's
It is
my
concentration, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely concentration. Just roll me a quick con save. It's only DC 10. Yeah, you're fine. Cool. And then you start making your way back into the room, yeah?
Yes.
I'll just put you at the entrance. Okay, then we're back around to Euterpe, who's still duking it out with Tana, who is probably her worst opponent, considering she cannot charm him in the slightest. But the Sultan's back. Yeah, okay. Well,
You Turpy have her flute thing.
she has a flute, but not the weapon. The dancing sword was confiscated from it. She just has the flute. But I mean, she could try to geas him.
I mean, how big is Tana's aura? Because
30 feet.
is it actually 30 feet? Oh, I was
Mhm.
about to say you could charm the Sultan and tell him to put the genie back in the bottle.
Sorry, no, wait, it's 10 feet. It's 30 feet at
Also,
a
she
higher
could
level, I believe.
She could do that then.
She gets sliced up the back with a glaive as she moves out of range, and immediately goes for an attack. Well, yeah, you're right. If we wanted to suggest, you know what? Good. It's a good call. She's getting right close to him, just so that she can get right into his face. Grabs him by the scruff of his robes, and says, "You call off your fiendish, fiery friend over there, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll spare you." And the Sultan was gonna roll a wisdom save. That is a fail. I still don't have Tides of Chaos back either. I think even if some bend luck, only the max would be a 10. Man, his wisdom saves have been poop. So the Sultan says, "Call him off." Sure. That's a good idea, actually. In fact, Altar, you're not supposed to harm the muse. I need her, remember? Stop getting into a fluster and calm yourself down. And Altar just turns to him and says, "You are mistaken, Helidus. And so is Tana. I've outlived your little service. I already granted your wishes. It's time you pay them back and grant mine." And the Sultan just turns back to Utep and goes, "I think we got a problem." Let me try again. I said, get back in your bottle, you flaming. In fact, put a shirt on as well. For goodness sake. You're in the throne room. Wear some clothes, for God's sake. And it just seems to be not having any effect. Altar is just turning and just like brushes his commands aside. Meanwhile, in fact, I think he's gonna go straight for Euterpe. Euterpe just got this look of like horror on her face as this Afriti just pulls itself forward through the air and goes right up to her. Says, return. Join your sisters. Join them in the divine flame. Become one. And he's going to just immediately grab a hold of her and begin casting a very nasty spell. You have to hit first. I don't know if this is going to work. Yeah, he's going to actually hit her first. She's got a mirror image. Oh, okay. Let's roll it. She's got plus 10 to hit. Okay, it's pretty good. So he pulls his claw towards her throat and tries to reach towards her. That will hit. She's going to roll above us. She got to get on mirror image.
6, I believe, at this point.
It's a 6, isn't it?
Yeah, she's lost 2.
Yeah.
No, I think it's the other way around. It's 11, and she has to
Yes,
roll
she has to
11.
roll an 11 or higher for this to miss.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. Oh, natural 20. Whew. Okay. That would have been very dangerous for her. Thankfully, as she gets this claw wrapped around her throat, the image just like struggles before suddenly bursting and popping, and she's back to her normal self. Ah, yes, that talent is very special. That's why it'll soon be mine. Unfortunately, that is full go doing that. Oh man, Tanner's up.
Seems like your boss is in trouble. You might want to go help him.
You've skipped over my turn.
Oh yeah, Kashan should be up there. What did
Yeah.
you originally roll?
20 something.
21.
21.
Oh yeah, you were like 21. Okay, what do you want to do, Tanner?
So first thing is who's the bad guy? Who do I need to beat up?
Big guy that's
I
on
mean-
fire. Duh.
If you've been paying attention, you should.
Which one?
have a
There's
good
two.
education.
The big guy that's on fire.
I am not going to be able to make that.
But yeah, it's throne room.
Yeah, I'll just action dash to get up to it.
Okay. Okay. You take what is it? 7 points of fire damage as you end your turn right up close to this blisteringly hot aura around him.
Oof. Spicy.
Okay.
One.
It is. Now it's Tanner's go. Oh. Because I can't think of anything better. Tanner, you see, Kashan, you see Tanner, this bestial knight rush up behind you. And he tries to get you away from this guy. Let me see if I can hit you with a glaive.
At disadvantage as well.
Because you got your cloak on, right?
Yep.
Okay, well the first one's definitely miss. Second attack. Natural 1.
Oof.
Damn.
Kashan will hop up and jump on the glaive as he's swinging it around and say, "Well, you're a handsome villain."
He says, and you're a quick fella. How do you dodge my attack so easily? Wait, no, cloak. Huh. Good choice of equipment. Let's go back to the guards who are not allowed in. And Lavellen, it's your turn.
So he says out loud, regardless of the situation, can we not all agree that there's a common enemy in the room?
I
that is
agree.
spiraling out of control? And I reach up with my whisk and cast Phantasmal Force through it onto the big guy.
Phantasm Force intelligence save? I'll just click, try and target him and click it.
Yeah.
Do the rest for me.
Where is it? Where's it gone?
This guy is
Um,
clearly the bad guy, but what does he want?
Weird that there's a template, but sure.
Oh,
Because
I
it's
got
place over.
yeah, intelligence.
Okay, didn't do anything. I'll just have to.
yeah, that one doesn't seem to be set up properly at all.
Yeah.
13. And what does this do again? It's the one that makes you fear this thing.
No, I can basically put something into his head that makes him believe it's true, and no matter what, he'll logic it into being true.
Yeah, and take psychic damage. Okay, cool.
So,
So what are you logicking into his brain?
not that anyone else will know, but that the Sultan is Andy.
Okay. It's weird and odd.
Well, he's after the muses,
He
so
is.
make him kill the Sultan.
Because it doesn't actually have to do damage. You're just
No, it
No.
doesn't. You can. That's a very unique use of that. Okay, cool. So the Sultan looks like Andy in his mind,
Yep. And
Cool.
everything in his mind.
and it's
meets-
logical. Makes sense. Yeah. All right. Very well played. Doesn't take any damage this turn then. Okay, I'll undo that quick. Yeah. All right. That's your go. Cool.
Yes, but I will also hide behind the pillar.
He just turns to what he thinks is Andy, and then just says, "You don't you wish to return to the light from which you came?" And of course, there's no response except perhaps Sultan just like saying, "What? What are you talking about? Don't look at me." It is Andy's go though right now. It's still blinded by this light. It's moved though. I would say it has spun around, and it's now side by side with another light. It's not as bright as the other one, but effectively you just see two like orbs of radiant energy. One is just massive, and the other one seems to be just sat right next to it.
I will point out it is nearly 10 o'clock, so I am going to have to go to bed after this.
Likewise.
Is there anything else in the vicinity that is of any kind of relevance? We've got these two big shiny globes, but is there anything else that potentially is hiding that we may not have seen in plain sight in the normal plane? Anything?
You can give me one more perception check with disadvantage, and see if you can spot anything here, because your eyes probably are adjusting to it, but it's still stupidly bright.
16.
That's a bit better than last time, but I will say then it looks as though there doesn't seem to be anything else around you that's helping it or of any use, but you can tell that as your eyes are beginning to adjust, the bigger orb of light, it seems to be not just one singular light, but more like multiple ones that are swirling together, almost like bouncing off of each other. But it's hard to tell how many there are. But you can tell that the one larger light is made up of smaller ones.
Oh, yeah, there's
How
a
many
quick
you
way
can't
between
count because it's just not there yet. And
Okay.
I'll also say with that, you can also tell there's potentially a light coming from you as well at this point.
Right, okay. I think I have a feeling then. But it's not prepared to boop out just yet.
No, okay.
Because obviously this big shiny glob is still right in front of her. So he's not prepared to come out just yet. But at least that's good information for no.
Okay.
I shall just kind of like hover where I am for now.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so should we get to the bottom of the round and then call it night?
Yep.
The Vizier is only going to try and stop Tanner again. You can attempt to hold him a second time. Gonna be rough. Whoa, wisdom save. Single. Jeez, yeah, Tanner is rolling really well. I can't hold him back. The Vizier's just struggling. The guards are on the other side. There's this swirling ball of fire that's now between them and the throne room, so they can't even get close to it even if they wanted. Tacklo,
Tacklow's just going to chill.
Chill, and Carrier.
Carius is going to look at the big monster and hope this works and be like, hey, actually, going to look to Kashan. Kashan, between the armored guy and the fire guy, who do you most want to punch in the face?
I'm assuming the fire guy? I mean, this guy doesn't really seem like much of a threat.
Right, then I'm going to spend 3 sorcery points to do something that Carius very rarely does, and
How about that
heighten
for
a
some?
spell.
Oh,
And I'm going
Okay.
to heighten hold monster on the fire, on the Afriti.
okay.
So
Wisdom
disadvantage.
save, yeah? With this.
Mm-hmm. Even with disadvantage, damn.
Even with this thing is a ball of fiery rage that refuses to be contained.
Wait.
And even the very essence of his body, there's nothing corporal about him. He is fire incarnate.
Yeah.
No physical form. He is just energy. And holding that in place is nigh and impossible. It was a worthy attempt.
Can't.
Then
Then what? Carius is actually going to do one last thing on his turn. He's going to go up to Tanner. And considering he's wearing metal armor, let's quicken this spell as well. Well, quicken a cantrip, which...
You're gonna do heat metal.
No.
No.
Okay.
I don't have heat metal. I'm not going to cook and book. Gonna spend 2 sorcery points to quicken with advantage because he's wearing metal. A shocking grasp on him.
Okay, you got a varnish to hit.
Okay, that have 20 lightning damage.
That's a hit, despite all of this armor. The conductivity of it allows you to get through and zap him for some
And then Karis.
damage. Like, oh,
Actually, no, that was Karis' full movement. It's just like.
that's it. All right, Irina. Send us off.
I'm currently. I got through the fire, didn't I?
You did, yeah. That's just
cool.
Oh, it's over there.
So I need to check a thing really quickly. I need to be. Okay. Oh, I'm on the river. I want to move closer.
Yeah, you can get 30 feet closer.
Yeah. I still can't do what I wanted to do. which was bonus action to hit Blade's Curse, but I have to be 30 feet in range. Unfortunately,
okay.
I am still double away from that. So I'm just going to fire off some Eldritch Blasts at the big guy.
Okay. Try and target him and fire away.
One.
That's a hit. Nice
Two.
damage as well. That one, he floods a flame towards you, of obscuring your vision. But after that, simmers away. The last one flies through and makes its mark.
And I could drag him closer to me, away from you, Turpy, by about 10 feet, but that's not very far. It also
isn't,
means
but do you want it?
Kashan is kind of...
He would go through Kashan.
Yeah, that's what I mean, so I might leave it.
Alright then. No problem. And finally, Euterpe is at the very, very bottom. Her protections are down, and realizing what that thing just tried to do to her, she is... Oh god, she wants to do that again, for sure.
She can move away from Tanner without provoking an attack opportunity, but not from
That's
the big
true.
guy.
I think she is also going to move away from that, but not before casting Mirror Image again. Don't know what you just tried to do, but stay away from me. He's going to take one more swing at her. And that one, unfortunately, can't do a spell as a result, as a reaction, but he definitely gets a swing at her. And I just need to roll another 6, which I don't. So it's next, there's this slash down her of flame. Just move.
I'm gonna. Does Kashan have Sentinel or is that Tanner?
I do have Sentinel.
Because when you be able to react there, is it just hit your ally within range?
That's true, actually. Do you want to make an attack against Amy Boy? And then
Yes,
we'll.
I will do that. And now I have my staff back. Oof. That was awful.
Yeah.
Nice try, though.
Catches it between his fiery hands and then tosses it aside. And he says, "You'll have to do better than that to face off against the great Altar Taraman Alzamazazul. And I will have my radiant flames. I will have my wish." And with that, we will end tonight's session as the Sultan seemingly losing control over his own Afriti. And we have no idea what he wants from these two muses, but can't be good. Until then, we will sign off here. Catch you on, I think we're live Monday as well.
Yep, and Sunday.
What live?
Live Sunday
and
as
also
well.
on Sunday.
Yep.
Sweet.
So join us Sunday as we continue on our trek through the Shadowfell, and join us Monday as the party explore the strangely peaceful city in the Underdark known as Shinoris.
Yeah. What beneath lies.
Yep. So bye-bye for now.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
So, just to